Hauraki Big Show with Jase, Mike and Keyzie. Tune in weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.
Talking heads here on the Hauraki Big Show this Monday afternoon. The time is 4:55.
Hey, Jase got a new cat, everyone. It doesn't have a name yet. And so suggestions are coming through on 3483. Every single one gets you in the draw for a $50 night and day voucher. G'day, fellas. Why don't you name the cat Dart?
Oh, yep.
Because you're always looking for a dart.
You love a dart.
Don't mind it.
You crush a dart?
Crush a dart, yeah.
Pat a dart, Dobie. So that way when it's scratching itself, you go, oh, Dobie's itch, which is a reference to 3 years ago on the show. Dazza suggests you call the cat Throbber. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What you got to realise, fellas, I have to get this past my daughter as well.
So she, okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What about this one? Down on all paws?
What about meow wife? Meow wife?
This one here. This guy's 10 and 3. Ricky Ticky Bobby Wobbin, or Fat Bidge, or Beverly Hills Cop 3.
They're great suggestions.
Yeah, that's a really good name.
Beverly Hills Cop 3 is a great name.
Keep them coming on 3483. Now, coming up after 5 o'clock, your chance to go in the draw to join us, Mad Bastards, for the Magic round in the NRL. Fellas in Brizzy there.
Certainly is, Jase. Also, you could win $200 cash thanks to the Big Show and old mate Jason Statham.
All that after 5.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyte, Mike Minogue and Keyzie.
The Violent Femmes there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show this Monday evening. You're back at the gym, Mogey.
Oh, yeah, I am, man. I started up a new sort of a regime.
Yes.
Because honestly, in the last probably month, I've been going once or twice a week. I'm just so bored of doing exactly the same thing over and over again. Week after week, month after month, year after year. So I'm trying to mix it up. I don't know, man.
And yet you're still doing radio.
Still doing radio, mate.
Yeah.
Still doing radio.
Yeah, what a backbone.
Hashtag
Well, I have sort of on-off relationship with the gym.
Yeah.
And what I found is that, I get really committed for over a long period of time, actually, sometimes. And then for some reason, I just lose interest like you and I just go, oh. But what I've found is, generally speaking, when I go back to the gym after a long layoff, and it's either because my expectations are really low or I'm a little bit fitter than I think I am. I go back the first time after a long layoff and I go, actually, that wasn't too bad. So my base sort of fitness, whilst not great, and my base strength, whilst not great, is there's something there.
Yes.
And I made a decision about 2 or 3 days ago. I went, God, I've got to get back to the gym. I've got to do it. And so I went, no, Monday, I'm starting again. And I went back today, and what an absolute abomination.
Right.
An absolute abomination. I reckon I've lost half my strength.
Wow.
I was coughing and wheezing all over the place. I could barely lift anything. And I kid you not, I was ripping ass the entire time.
Well, that's nothing to do with your fitness.
And I was just going, what? And everything was painful and tiring and exhausting. It was so bad that I went, I don't know that I can go back tomorrow. Because it was that bad.
Do you think that's the way to go then? It didn't go very well, and so as a means to sort of sort that out, don't go anymore.
Just give up.
And get progressively worse.
Yeah, this is the thing that I'm sort of battling with at the moment, and I hope you backbones would sort of back me up and go, yeah, Jase, just get back into it, mate. You can do this, and sort of give me sort of a positive vibe on this.
Well, so this is the first time back since when?
Probably about mid-December last year.
Yeah, that's a big layoff.
3 months.
Yeah.
Since then, you went to Vietnam, you had some sort of tummy bug.
but
smoked a billion cigarettes.
A bunch of cigarettes.
But I also walked 875 Ks.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
And I've never had an experience like that where I was so devoid of any kind of strength or energy.
I'd say the big thing about that will be that sickness that you've just had.
Yeah, maybe.
And I think once you get another week or two down the track, you'll find that your strength returns pretty quickly. But a sickness is the biggest son of a bee when you're trying to get into the gym.
Yeah, listen
because
to Mogey here.
All of your return. Exactly. I had scurvy, for God's sake.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
It's the most annoying thing when you're trying to get fit and you get sick in the middle of it. It's the worst.
You know what I was thinking about is it makes it easier when you have a buddy.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Keyzie.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say, what happened to that woman that you used to hang out with down there?
Oh, she's still there.
Yeah, good.
She was stoked to see me back. But Keyzie, you want to be gym buddies?
What gym do you go to?
Oh, just what's it called?
Oh, I'm busy that day. Sorry.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jase, Mike and Keyzie. Tune in weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.
Alison James there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show this Tuesday afternoon. The time is 5:14. Keep an ear out for the cue to call and join us at the Magic Round in Brizzy in about a month's time, eh, fellas?
It is in just over a month's time. 0800 Hauraki is the number to dial. It's happening inside the next 20 minutes, so stay tuned, as they say.
But right now it's time for Vet Chat with Mogey.
That's good stuff, fellas. Hey, as you guys know, I've got a dog.
Yes.
Tinker.
Yeah, that's her. She's 15 going on 16. She's got milky eyes like Hoyte J. She's got a cyst growing out of her eyelid like Hoyte J. She's heavily arthritic and her front paws are sort of turned inward. So she walks, her feet are at a funny angle like Hoyte J.
Oh, my God. No, my feet splay
you go the other way.
I go call it a 3.
You do.
Yeah.
Just quickly, 16 in dog years is between 80 between 80 and 120 human years.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, so we've got her on a few different
Drugs.
bits of medication, etc., etc. And I was sort of early on, I was like, well, is there any value really in prolonging the life of a dog when it's, because you remember what they like, Jase, like with Roo, your
Yes.
dog passed away sadly now, and how amazing they are and how beautiful it is to see a young dog full of life, and you see
Indeed.
them slowly as the life force ebbs out of them, and it's a sad reminder, isn't it? And so I find it a bit depressing. I just sort of thought, well, out of sight, out of mind, surely.
Yes.
But you do grow attached to them, Keyzie, over the years. They're almost like a member of the family.
Well, like
Well, they are.
I was saying off here,
Aren't
I still look for Roo all the time. She's still there somewhere.
Yeah. And anyway, she's been taking. She had that, of course, that terrible hack because she's got the liquid on the lungs. You remember?
Yeah. that weird. Yeah.
That's how she'd finished that off. She was doing that all day and all night. So we've given her this drug now that stopped that pretty much. She hardly does that at all. But she's still got the arthritis, and it is a sad thing to watch her try and move around. So I took her into the vet today to give her a shot for the arthritis.
Oh, God.
So she gets that once a month. That's $160
Yeah.
for one of those. The other stuff is, I think it's $200 plus for one of the medications, and I'm not sure about the third one. So it's not cheap.
High running costs, isn't it?
It is a high operation cost, but then if it was me, I'd splash out on myself.
Yeah,
But you're not a dog,
Well,
Mogey.
you know the interesting thing, because I remember
I'm a mad dog.
old Roo had a few sort of
Amen.
drugs, painkillers and stuff like
Yes.
that, and I was trying to remember the name of the
Wasn't she on the
particular-
trammies?
Yeah, well, it was something like that, and I was like, can we?
Take those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or are they specific to dogs?
Did
It's
you
all
ever
the
take
same,
one?
man.
No, Keyzie.
It's all the same.
Why are
mate.
you winking at me?
Anyway, so I got the shot and then took her
You got
outside.
a shot?
I gave her the shot for
right.
the arthritis there. The vet did anyway, and then took her out to the car. And when I was picking her up to put her into the car, and she was panicking because she doesn't like being picked up anymore.
Yes.
I noticed that the tuft of skin at the back, in between her shoulder blades, where they put the injection, was all wet. So what had happened was she'd been putting the injection in, the dog Tinker had started struggling, and then obviously the vet has just
Squirted it in.
squirted it all over
On
her
the
back.
back.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, just
God, I
done
hate
the
when
whole
that
load
happens.
all over her back there. And I was like, I had my brother with me, and I was like, what do you think this is? And he's like, well, it looks like it hasn't gone in properly. So I had to go back in. But I was sort of that, do I go back in and have a word about this? And then I thought, oh yeah, $160. Probably should.
Just
Yes.
So I went
splashed
back
on
in.
Tinker's back.
Yeah, So anyway, went back in and they did another shot for her and filled her up. So happy days. But I was thinking while I was in there, Jase, because she doesn't look happy, man.
Nah.
You can tell when your dog's happy.
Yes.
But I was thinking about how your daughter volunteers at the SPCA, and I was just wondering if she gets a discount on those lethal injections for family and friends as well, or is it just for the animals in your own house?
I can look into that for you, Mogey, if you like.
I'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
Just test the waters, man.
And I can promise you one thing, it won't be just squirted over her back there.
Don't just dump it on her back. Yeah.
They'll say, well, get it right in there.
Yeah. Here's Audio Slave.
The Hauraki Big Show. Weekdays from 4 on Radio Hauraki.
Oh, Foo Fighters there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show this Wednesday afternoon. We're talking medical professionals.
Absolutely. And today I went and saw a specialist. I don't know what's so special about her. Went along to see her. She told me I was seeing the wrong kind of specialist and sent me to a new specialist for my kidneys and charged me $375 for the honour.
Yeah.
God, what's that about?
6 minutes it was, eh?
6 minutes. Now, if you've had similar sort of experience where you've been to a doctor's and you've been absolutely ripped off or had some kind of other punishing experience, feel free to text us on 3483 and we'll get over it together.
Yeah, you can also get yourself a $50 night and day voucher. And Jase, I'm sure you must have had plenty of these scenarios, man.
Oh, yeah, totally. I've had liver issues too, but at the kind of the opposite end of the scale from Mogey. His is bloated up, whereas mine's just like a leather strap. It's been punished so hard it's just kind of disintegrated and dehydrated.
Yeah.
So I don't actually have an issue with that.
Why don't you just drink some water?
But one of the things that, and this is, something that people suffer from a lot. I mean, it costs a lot of money to go and see a doctor.
It does.
You know what I mean? And it can be really tough on families. And often you'll go to the doctor, and this has happened to me many times, where I go to the doctor and they say to me, okay, this is what's going on. I'm going to give you a prescription for antibiotics.
Yeah.
That'll be like 8 minutes that I go in there for that, and they tell me that, and I go, that's great. They'll still charge me $55.
Yes.
So I'm thinking to myself, well, hang on here. I want to get my money's worth.
Yeah.
So what I always do is I double up and I go, well, look, while I'm here, can you check out my bolos?
Yes.
And that way you get a free cradle, and they just get to touch your bolos, and it feels pleasant, and you feel like you're getting a bit more of your money's worth, for $55.
And also you're putting them through something. So, well, you can take my money, and that's fine. But if you're not going to give me the full 15 minutes, then you can put your finger up my bum for 7.
Well, put a digit in there.
Isn't it only for a week?
Give it a wiggle.
To be fair, I've never had that procedure done to me, so you guys would know.
You got to do it, man.
No,
what, the nurse or the bolos?
Both.
One of the things I discovered when I first actually did that is my elongated testes.
Jase, if I could just bring you back to the doctors here, at least in that scenario.
Well, there was a doctor,
hang on,
Keyzie.
Jase. In that scenario, right, you walk in, sure, it's only 8 minutes, but they cure something of yours, right? They give you antibiotics. Like 200 years ago, if you got an infection, you'd just die.
Well, look, anyone can write a prescription, Keyzie.
No, I know. But you go in, they correctly diagnose it most of the time, and then they give you antibiotics, and then in return you don't die, and then you give them $50.
Well, I don't think I would have died. I mean, I just would have been a bit crook for a while.
The other trick that you can do, Jason, I know you used to do this when the kids were a bit younger and the work was a bit thinner on the ground, you know what I mean?
Sure.
If everybody in the family was sick, either you or your wife would go in with all of the illness, the signs of illness, and you'd line them all up so you get the cure for all of them. So just one of you has to pay, but then you go in there and you go, I've got a sore throat, I've also fallen over and hurt my knee, and you can line them all up and get prescriptions for everything. And then just take it home and just dish them out to your family.
Yeah, totally. And my balls are aching.
Jase.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jase, Mike and Keyzie. Tune in weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.